Assuming that you people have a basic idea on what is a testing, and we are moving further. So before moving into further things, what exactly a Selenium is, why we are going for Selenium, its advantages, limitations, and all those things, we need to know what is an automation testing, right? We need to know what is an automation testing. So without knowing automation testing, there is no point of learning what exactly a Selenium and other things is. In simple terms, the basic definition is whatever the testing we are doing manually, if we do the same thing by writing a computer program, which we can call it as an automation testing. Okay, which we can call it as an automation testing. So it means in a manual testing, whatever we are gonna perform, the same thing we are performing with this automation testing. There is a no much a difference. The only difference out over here is here we are writing a computer program to perform this operation. An example for this one is a Gmail login page. Assume that we are working on a Gmail login page. In order to test this particular page, I need to enter username, password, and I need to click on a login button manually. That's what the task is. Whereas I can write a computer program which can perform this operation. Based on the programming language, whatever we have selected, okay, based on the programming language of whatever we have selected, we can write programs. Usually the programming language depends on automation testing tool whatever we are selecting. Okay, so whatever the automation testing tool we are selecting, depending on an automation testing tool, okay, depending on an automation testing tool, the corresponding programming language will be selected. For suppose if you are going for Selenium, you can choose Java as your programming language, or Ruby, or Python. If you go for QTP, you need to go for a VB scripting. If at all you are preferring Ready API, another tool, you need to know Groovy scripting. And if you would like to go for protractor, then you need to know Node.js. So each and every tool has its own supported programming languages. Depending on a tool, whatever we have selected, okay, depending on a tool, whatever we have selected, corresponding a programming language we need to work on. Okay, corresponding programming language we need to work on. Okay, cool. So usually a simple question will rise in our mind. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so I don't know anything about Java or any other programming languages. How can I handle this? Or how can I automate this particular? Okay, how can I automate using this particular tool? Okay, so usually the only thing what we need to do is we need to learn, and then we need to work. That's it. We just need to learn that, and we need to work on that particular tool. There is no other option available, guys. Okay, the only thing what we need to know out over here is whatever the tool you have selected, okay, whatever the tool you have selected, corresponding a programming language we need to learn, and then we need to work on that particular tool. there is no other option available. First of all, this is the first thing which we need to know. Okay, so there is no other option. Great. Then why Selenium? There are too many tools available in a market. Why people are going for Selenium? Why not for any other tools? Means it's a tool which is used to automate any kind of web-based applications. So the first and the most important thing which we need to know about the Selenium is using this particular tool, we can automate any kind of web-based applications. Okay, so it means if we are performing certain operations on a browser, we can automate all those scenarios using this particular tool. And moreover, one most important thing which we need to know is it is an open source tool. Okay, it is an open source tool. Okay, so Selenium is an open source tool. Anyone can download this software for free of a cost. Okay, anyone can download this software for free of a cost. They no need to pay. Okay, they no need to pay even a single rupee to work on this tool. If your organization wants to work on Selenium, they can download it for free and they can automate their applications using this particular tool. So usually a simple question will rise in our mind. There are too many open source tools available in the market. Why we need Selenium? Why not any other tools like Sahi or some other tools available in the market? Why we are not going for all those tools? Why we are preferring only Selenium? Right. We need to know that particular point. Why Selenium? Why not any other tools? Excuse me. So the answer out over here is the various advantages with respect to this tool makes it more powerful. Okay, so the most important point which we need to know out over here is the various advantages with respect to Selenium makes it more powerful than any other commercial tools. So the various advantages are it's an open source tool. You can download it for free and you can automate any kind of applications. It supports record and a playback feature. The best example for this record and a playback feature is our mobile phone itself. In our mobile phone, we can capture audio or a video, and whenever we want, we can play back that particular audio or a video from our mobile. The same way here, the record and a playback feature works on a browser. Whatever the actions we are performing on a browser, for all those actions, your Selenium will record the scripts, and whenever we want, even it can play back those actions on a same browser. Okay, it can play back those actions on the same browser. So the record and the playback feature in Selenium works on a browser. Great. So another most important thing is Selenium is a tool which supports multiple programming languages, multiple browsers. If you know Java, you can write down your Selenium code. If you know Ruby, .NET, Python, whatever the programming language might be, if we are good at any one of the programming languages, we can write down our Selenium code. It's not a mandatory that you need to learn only one specific language. If you are good at any programming language, you can write down the Selenium code. And moreover, whatever the test script we prepared, we can execute it across multiple browsers. Okay, whatever the test script we prepared, we can execute it across multiple browsers. Great. Done up to here, guys. And then this tool supports cross-browser testing, cross-operating system testing. If you are good at Selenium, you can automate the mobile apps present in both Android and iOS, okay, mobile devices. If you are good at Selenium, then even you can automate your mobile applications also. Either it is in an Android or it is in an iOS, we can automate both the mobile apps using this particular Selenium tool. Okay, we can automate all the mobile apps using this particular Selenium tool. Great. Okay, so these are all the various advantages which makes it more powerful. And what are all the various limitations then? Even we need to know about the limitations with respect to this tool. Right, we just need to know the various limitations as we studied about and advantages. See, open source, we are considering it as a limitation. The reason is we don't get any support from the Selenium team whenever we block at a particular point while automating an application. So whenever we are automating an application, if you encounter certain issues, we don't get any support from the Selenium team, which is a major limitation. Okay, and another limitation is whenever we are working on an application, if you encounter certain scenarios like file uploading scenarios like this. See here, you do have a file uploading scenario. Okay, you do have a file uploading scenario. Clicking on a browse, okay, clicking on a browse will open a window based pop-up, right? So these kind of a window based pop-ups we can't handle by default with Selenium. Okay, these kind of a window based pop-ups we can't handle with Selenium by default. These are all the various limitations with respect to this tool. Usually the open source limitation we can overcome. How it means, as a 70 to 80% of the market share is on Selenium. Majority of the people are using this Selenium tool. Hence, as n number of people are using this tool, even though we don't get any support from the Selenium team, we do have too many Google groups and forums where in which we can get solutions for all our issues. Okay, where in which we can get solutions for all our issues. So that's what the most important point is. Even though it is an open source tool, we are getting a better support from the people who are working on this particular tool. Great. So before looking into another limitation, a small example out over here is, assume that in a laptop we have just a 2 GB of a free space. Is it possible for us to store 20 GB of information into that particular laptop? See, you have just a 2 GB of a free space. How come we will store 20 GB of information into that laptop? It's not at all possible. Usually, we will connect an external hard disk to store that information, and we can store the information to an hard disk, and whenever we want, we can access that information. The same way, by default, we can't handle these kind of window based pop-ups using this Selenium. By integrating some third party tools like auto IT and Securely, we are gonna overcome those limitations. Okay, we are gonna overcome those limitations. Cool. So far we studied about what exactly a Selenium is, what are all its advantages, and what are all its limitations. Guys, before moving ahead, do you people have any questions for me? If so, kindly let me know in a chat window. If you have any questions, please let me know in a chat window so that we can discuss them first and then we will move further. Okay. Yeah, Pooja, please go ahead with your question. Okay, so kindly address your question in a chat window so that we can discuss that. Okay, cool, cool. So, assuming that others don't have any questions, and I'm just moving further. Okay, cool. Do we need to know core Java? Okay, so I will explain you about this question in a few more minutes. Okay, so I will explain about your question in a few more minutes. Cool. So that's fine then. So the next and a most important point which we need to know is components in Selenium. Selenium was broadly categorized into these many components: IDE, RC, WebDriver, and a Selenium grid. So these are all the various components that we have in Selenium. Selenium IDE, Selenium RC, Selenium WebDriver, and a grid. So there exists a small difference between these components. Let's see in detail about each and every component. Let's start with the Selenium IDE. So Selenium IDE is a component which is used to perform record and a playback feature only on a Firefox browser. Okay, Selenium IDE is a component which will work only on a Firefox browser. Okay, Selenium IDE is a component which works only on a Firefox browser. The reason is it is an add-on to our Firefox browser. It means whatever the actions you are performing on a Firefox browser, for all those actions, your Selenium will record the scripts, and whenever we want, it can execute it on a same Firefox browser itself. Okay, Selenium IDE, as it is an add-on to Firefox browser, whatever the operations we are performing on a Firefox, for all those operations, it will record the script and even it will play back the script on a same Firefox browser itself. Using this IDE, we can't execute our test scripts on any other browsers. Okay, using this IDE, we can't execute it on any other browsers. We can just execute it on a Firefox browser alone. And moreover, using this Selenium IDE, we can't handle any kind of if conditions or any kind of conditional statements. We can't handle using this Selenium IDE. As IDE contains these many limitations, majority of the people are going for either RC or a WebDriver. Okay, as IDE contains a certain limitations, a majority of the people are going for either RC or a WebDriver to automate their applications. Okay, majority of the people are going for either RC or a WebDriver. Okay, cool. So I got another question. Just a second. Okay, so just a second. So basically, the thing is Selenium and a Cucumber. See, the point out over here is these two are not differ. As said that using this Selenium, it supports some multiple programming languages. Few people are using Selenium with the Java. Few people are using with the .NET, and a few people will use a Cucumber with Selenium. Okay, so that depends on their selection, whatever they are gonna use with Selenium. But 75 to 80% of the people who are using Selenium, around a 75 to 80% of people are using Java programming language only. Okay, fine, done. So the point out over here is basically here we need to switch for RC or a WebDriver, as a IDE is a component which works only for a Firefox browser. Okay, which works only for a Firefox browser. RC and a WebDriver supports multiple programming languages and as well as multiple browsers. Among all those programming languages, as said that as 75 to 80% of the market share is on Java, hence we are going for Selenium with Java. Okay, even we are gonna study Selenium with the Java programming language, and whatever the Java concepts required, okay, whatever the Java concepts required, we are going to cover all those Java concepts within our sessions. Okay, we are gonna cover all those Java concepts within our sessions itself. You no need to learn Java concepts separately within the training program itself. Whatever the Java concepts required for us to work on Selenium, we are gonna study all those Java concepts. Cool. Usually, a simple question will rise in our mind, then what is the difference between RC and a WebDriver? Both supports multiple programming languages and multiple browsers. What is the basic difference between these two? Let me show you in a pictorial representation. Okay, so here is a Java programming language and here is a browser. Okay, so this is a Java programming language and assume that this is a browser. So I assume that I'm considering this Java as one end of a river and the browser as an another end of a river. Is it possible for a person, okay, is it possible for a person to travel from, to move from one end of a river to another end without having any medium like boat or steamer? At least he don't know how to swim. Is it possible for anyone to move from this end to this end without having any one of this? It's not at all possible, right? The same way here, in order to execute the Java programming language on a browser, an intermediate layer Selenium server is required for RC to execute the Java program on a browser. Okay, whatever the Java program we are gonna prepare in order to execute this Java program on a browser, it needs an intermediate layer which is a Selenium server. Whereas moving on to WebDriver, it is a latest component of Selenium which doesn't need any intermediate layers. Okay, it doesn't need any intermediate layers in order to execute the test script on a browser. WebDriver itself is having certain mechanism to execute the script on a browser. Hence, majority of the people who are using Selenium, they are going for WebDriver by default. Okay, whoever are preferring Selenium, they are going for WebDriver by default, as it supports multiple programming languages and doesn't need any intermediate layer to execute the script. People are going for WebDriver. Great. Usually, a simple question will rise in our mind. Okay, we know all these things. Then, what we are gonna learn from this training program? Where I would be at the end of this training program? So here, within this training program, we are gonna start with Selenium IDE for 3 hours. Usually here with this point, a simple question will encounter in your mind. We are not using this Selenium IDE as it is having a bunch of advantages. Then why we are learning this component, right? If you are not going to use this one, why we are using this particular component? Why we are spending 3 hours of time on this particular Selenium IDE? The reason is, even though we are not going to use this Selenium IDE in our real time, this tool will help us to simplify our day-to-day activities. This tool will help us in order to simplify our day-to-day activities. Okay, fine. So the point out over here is, okay, so a simple example for this one is, okay, a simple example for this particular one is, okay, so assume that we are using a Zira reporting tool to log a bug, okay, which need 15 minutes to fill the form and submit a bug. Whereas, okay, if we record a basic script in IDE, okay, if you record a basic script in IDE, we can finish it in just 3 minutes. So if you observe the difference, the 15 minutes of our task, we are just finishing within a 3 minutes itself. For that particular reason, okay, we are learning Selenium IDE simply to simplify our day-to-day activities. We are learning this tool. Okay, to simplify our day-to-day activities, we are learning this particular tool. And then once we are done with the Selenium IDE, then we will start with the core Java concepts. Okay, so we are gonna study about 10 to 12 hours on a core Java concept itself. Okay, we are gonna study about 10 to 12 hours on a core Java concepts itself. And then we will start about WebDriver for about 20 hours. We will study in detail about a WebDrivers and then Selenium Grid for 2 hours. In addition to this one, we are gonna study about APM, which is a mobile automation testing tool built on top of Selenium for about 10 hours. If you are good at Selenium, you can automate both Android and as well as an iPhones. How can you handle that? We are going to study in these 10 hours. In addition to that, we are going to study Protractor for additional 5 hours. So Protractor is a tool which was built on top of Selenium, where majority of the people are using nowadays to automate Angular JS applications. So we are gonna learn Protractor within our training program. So altogether, the total duration for this training program is about 40 to 50 hours. Okay, every day we will provide this kind of a running notes. The session videos will be provided for you. The material, test scripts, the presentations, whatever we have, everything we will share you via Google Drive. Okay, everything we will provide you via this Dropbox. Okay, fine. So this is the basic info which I have for this demonstration. So if you have a look into these running notes, it contains a detailed screenshots including the configuration from where you need to download, how you need to download, everything we are going to study within our training program itself. The only thing required from your end is you need to attend the classes regularly and you need to practice all the assignments, whatever we are discussing and whatever we are providing for you within our sessions. So you people need to practice all those assignments and you need to come up with a bunch of questions. That's it. So this is the only thing required from your end. So daily we will provide recordings, material, whatever the test scripts we studied, we will provide the test scripts. Everything we will provide like this. You people just need to study and you people need to come up with a multiple questions. That's the only thing required from your ends. Is this point clear for everybody or do you have any questions for me? So if you have any questions, Cucumber and Protractor and Mocha are different. Java versus JavaScript. Cucumber, Protractor and Mocha is the difference between Java and a JavaScript. See, guys, I got a quick questions here. Let me address those questions so that you people can understand what are all the various things. Cucumber protractor. See, the first thing is basically protractor is a tool which was built on top of a Node.js. Okay, which was built on top of a Node.js and for which Jasmine, and Mocha are various frameworks. Okay, using this, instead of learning this Node.js, we are gonna automate a protractor using Java programming language. Okay, so we are gonna automate using Java programming language. Okay, so how to handle protractor using Java programming language, we are gonna study within our training program. That's the first point. And the second point is Java versus JavaScript, both are differ. Okay, Java is a completely different and a JavaScript is a completely different. Java is an object-oriented programming language, whereas JavaScript is a lightweight scripting language. Okay, if you know JavaScript, you can simply learn the Node.js too, as both are interrelated. Okay, as both are interrelated. Cool. This is the basic info for you. And of course, if you want, you people can learn all these three courses. Okay, usually if at all you are attending for the Selenium training, we are offering additional 15 hours of training program for free of cost. If you want to attend only APM and a protractor, for sure we can plan it as per your needs. Okay, for sure we can plan it as per your needs. Cool. Done. So, do you people have any other questions for me, guys? Or you are good so far? If you don't have any questions, so kindly share your email IDs, Gmail IDs in a chat window. Divya and Prashant, Shanti, Ramya, Shafil. So kindly share your Gmail IDs in a chat window so that I can forward these demo session PPT along with the session recording, which will help you people to get an idea on this particular stuff. Okay, so kindly share your Gmail IDs in a chat window. And one more thing, what you need to know is about usually what exactly the tentative start date and the tentative end date for this training program. We are gonna start the regular sessions from tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, which is 7 a.m. IST. We are going to start the regular sessions from 7 a.m. IST onwards, which is from your Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. EST onwards. And the tentative end date for this training program is Jan month end. Okay, the tentative end date for this training program is Jan month end. Okay, so we are gonna start this one roughly by 20th, and we are gonna end this one by Jan 31st. On or before Jan 31st, we will end up these sessions. Okay, cool. So done up to here, guys. Cool.